Okay, anybody else played around with RxJS at all? Yeah. One person, all right, good. That means, no. All right, so before I start on actually RxJS, I'm going to start with what is Reactive-X, which is actually key to understanding RxJS in general. So a library for composing asynchronous and event-based programs based on observable sequences. Everybody got that? All right, I'm going to say what, because, yeah, what the hell is that? I don't understand that statement at all. It's also not React. I don't know how many people probably saw Reactive-JS and probably thought, oh, React. Yeah, it's React. It's definitely not React. It's actually a functional programming paradigm. So you basically take sequences of events, as it says, and react to them and perform some action, essentially. Observer pattern on async events. That can pretty much sum up what that sentence is actually saying. So what is RxJS? RxJS is a JavaScript implementation of Reactive-JS. It's pretty straightforward. It has helpers for common JS duties, such as from promise and from event. So now you can think of these as you have a promise event and you want to make an observable around it. We'll get into what an observable is in a second. But you have a promise from maybe a fetch statement, or maybe you just make your own promise. You can make an observable around that and react to it. From event would be your element click handlers, mouse overs, stuff like that. It promotes async programming. Yeah, I mean, you got to think async if you're going to be developing in the front end world nowadays. I don't know if anybody, raise your hands, who's used like Redux or MobX. 2 people? This is the JavaScript meetup. Right? 3 people. All right, good. Maybe that's going to be a presentation. What?
I'm learning.
You're learning. All right, good. I don't believe you. All right. So why RxJS? And this picture pretty much describes my first feelings when I was looking at RxJS code, because it's very confusing. All right. So if you're a functional programmer, this will be right at home for you. So if you've used those libraries that I've just talked about that nobody has, you'll be right at home with RxJS because you're going to be using functional purity. Does that ring a bell with people? No. All right. I won't get into it. But Angular 2, we just had a presentation on, I forget the name of the library.
That's okay. GSAP.
GSAP. So Angular 2 uses RxJS as part of its core library set. So if you're going to be doing new Angular stuff, you're going to want to learn RxJS because it's very helpful. Side note, why did Google use Apple versioning? I am confused because if you say Angular, you have to specify whether or not you're talking about Angular 2, Angular 1X. I find that
Angular is now Angular 2.
Angular is now Angular 2?
So if you're talking about Angular 1, it's Angular 1.
See, this is my problem, right? Because why wouldn't they go to it's Angular.io or I think it's AngularJS then.
AngularJS.
Yeah, so whatever.
They switched to semantic.
I'm happy that other people are as passionate about this subject as I am, because I find it ridiculous. All right. Lots of async stuff. So if you have async stuff like a lot of AJAX calls, a lot of WebSockets, this library will definitely help you. Handles AJAX nicely. I obviously didn't remember my slides because I talked about both of those just now. Or if you're a masochist like myself. So I was saying, boy, this new library that Reddit JavaScript subreddit is talking about, I should really check that one out. And kind of hurting myself for having done that. All right. So if you notice, you are here. All right. And for those over there, you can see it. And RxJS is up here. Right? So there's a big, huge learning curve. It is definitely not linear. So how do you even start digesting this ridiculous library? Right? So any Vim users? 3 people. All right. So it's the same number of people that use Vim as Redux and MobX. All right. Learn concepts slowly, one at a time, because I was gonna actually put a picture of a skinned cat, or a hairless cat, I should say, on this picture, because there's many, many, many ways to actually skin the cat in RxJS. So learn it slowly, learn one thing at a time, apply it, then use it. Just like them. RTM, read the manual, pretty straightforward. There's actually a document decision tree. I'm actually going to click on this link because it's actually pretty cool. This is the first time I've actually ever seen something like this. It actually goes through what you want to do and what you should use based on what you want to do. Credit to Pluralsight for that. I definitely didn't cram a Pluralsight lesson last night preparing for this presentation. I'm sorry, I'm recovering from a little bit of a cold, so my voice is not the greatest. But that is actually a really cool thing. I haven't really used it too much, but I can imagine it's kind of helpful if you're trying to figure something out. And then there's something called marble diagrams that you'll see spread out over the documentation. And actually, here's an example of one of the marble diagrams. So basically, this is, okay, everybody knows what a map function is, right, on an array?
Yes.
That was like 2 people, right? Okay. All right. So the mapping, there's something called a flat map in RxJS, which basically turns an incoming event and maps it to a set of events or one event, whatever. So it's basically like mapping for observable events. So basically what it's trying to say here, I'm going to go over this side of the room because you guys got me one. All right. So you got events coming in, left to right is time. So you got a red, a green, and a blue event. And it's saying basically this flat map function is applied to that red event on top. And it's mapped to 2 events in the bottom once it's done. Now, the interesting part comes over here because what this is trying to say is that these are asynchronous events. So you're not actually guaranteed that the order in which these events come in at top are guaranteed at bottom. So you can get a green event, but you can map the 2 green events here, but the first blue event might come in before the second green event. There's reasoning around that, but read the documentation. Other stuff. Reactive-RX or Reactive-X RxJS is not the same as Reactive-Extensions RxJS. These are GitHub URLs, FYI. I did not realize this until last night. So that made writing some code very interesting because I'm using functions that don't exist.
One is version 4, the other is version 5.
That is correct. And version 5, which is the Reactive-X RxJS, it's newer and it's actually released now. If you need it. So it's on version like 5.03 or something. It seems like overkill to do a simple thing. This is very true until you start thinking reactive, whatever that means. So if you're doing very imperative, DOM manipulation, you're going to be pulling your hair out to try to figure out how to fit what you're currently doing into RxJS because it is a nightmare at first. And then you start thinking differently about things and realizing it's not really as hard as you think it is. RxJS is not the only implementation. There's actually quite a few. This is just a sampling. RxJava.net, and there's even a C++ implementation if you're really feeling like you want to kill yourself. Right? Okay, so there's a demo. I put the code out there. If we go to the site, there's nothing in here, but it's all the things I'm going to demo are in separate branches. So you can just check out the different branches and follow along as you need to. I'm going to close a bunch of these. Oops. I think I already have it running. Nope. I also use TypeScript. Just because like I said, I definitely wasn't running through this stuff last night because I was thinking, oh shit, I need to do something on this quickly thing. All right, So, if I refresh,
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Perfect. 1 minute per exercise. All right, we got hello world. Okay, so this is doing nothing. All right, let's check out the first initial.
Make it bigger?
The code or the page.
Yes.
Go. There are cats involved, so you definitely want to see that, obviously. Let's actually do this. You got to make it difficult, don't you?
I think this is the same math process.
Git checkout one. All right, oops. Git checkout one. Observable. All right. So I will do the same thing according to Andy and make it bigger. Happy?
Yeah.
All right. I give shit to people that are in the audience, just so you know. All right. So this is a very basic example. This is something I hope you would never do, but essentially I'm creating an observable from an array of elements. So 1, 2, 3, boo. Right? And what it's doing is I'm subscribing to that observable array. Thank you. Do you want me to switch it to light?
All right, fine.
Okay. Everybody can see, right?
Yeah.
That cares? All right. Creating a span element, it's coercing it into a string so inner text doesn't yell at me because of TypeScript, and appending the child to the output, which is this content div. Okay. So if we switch back, we got 1, 2, 3, boo. Now you can't really see that. Can't miss out on the cats. All right. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Anybody got any questions on that very, very simple example? Otherwise, I'm going to speed through. All right, so we're going to check out 2. And now we're going to filter down things and map them, essentially. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say, if the value is not a number, then I want to, or if it is a number, actually. If it is a number, because this is truthy, whatever, I'm going to say I'm going to append a number to it and append the value. So if anybody can take a guess, what is it going to output? Number 1, number 2, number 3. You would be correct. All right.
This is like lazy evaluation.
There's lazy evaluation. All right, so we're going to check out the aggregate list. All right. So now what this is going to do is the same similar idea, except we're going to say we're going to put them in an ordered list. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to basically, this is essentially a reducer. If you've done an array of reduce, it's reducing and aggregating them into an unordered list and aligning it. Right? So this is going to number it. There you go. All right. We're going to check out 4. And this is a multiple subscribe, so any curious viewers would have said, well, what about boo and roar? You know, they're getting ignored. Well, we're going to subscribe twice to that array observable, and down here we're going to say that value is a scary word, and we're going to append it to a different div. So now we got 1, 2, 3, and boo is a scary word, and roar is a scary word. And then we complete it. You guys can check out the code what that complete is. And last but not least, a real-world example. It is hitting an endpoint, which is just a JSON list of cats, and applying some logic to it. Basically, we got a button that says find cats, and we got a list of cats. One named Socks, one named Bootsy, and Sir Sleepsy. That's it.